Hi everyone. Yeah, well no, I wasn't going to do another video today. It was an auspicious occasion, the coronation. I was watching that. Funny enough, as I said the other day, I also watched the one in '53, but I was a bit younger then and didn't really understand it. So today it was quite interesting. It was a pity the weather wasn't good enough for the complete flyover of the planes and that, but as I say, we kind of everything. It was, as I say, a piece of history, and I wonder how many other people have actually now seen too. Makes me feel old. Well, perhaps I am old. Anyhow, I thought I'd pop another telephone up. It's what is the time? It's turned 3 o'clock. The programmes are over about the coronation, which was interesting, I must admit. Now, I was reminded of one thing. The last coronation was in '53, and I've got, now you know I collect lamps as well. I've got unusual interest, I must admit. This was a commemorative lamp produced in '53 of the coronation. ER, the crown and ER. There were several of these type lamps made by several manufacturers. This is one I've got. This may be by Atlas, I'm not sure. But anyway, I thought I would just give that a little airing, because it's all sort of part of the times. And as I say, yeah, it brings back memories. It does make me feel old. Anyhow, enough of that. I thought I'd pop another 706 type telephone up. This one's actually by Ericsson Plessey N1900E244. Now this was the version for telephone rentals. It has got, or hasn't got, an ASTIC anti-side tone induction coil, and the bell is a single coil job. The dial has an found out they're called chaplets, little arrowheads on in the dial itself. Anyway, let's have a look at the actual instrument. Yeah, it's got a single coil bell. Now, I didn't realise, but this is the same type of bell which is on those Portuguese phones, which I believe were made by Plessey as well. So whether this bell is typical just to the Plessey phones, I don't know, but it's exactly the same bell as on the Portuguese 706 type. Now, what we also notice is that space right next to the bell. There you'd normally see the induction coil. Well, there ain't one in. There's this one. It was made without an induction coil. Obviously to keep the price down. When you're ordering loads of these through a particular company, if you want to save a bit of money, that's what you do. And also save a bit more money, there's no regulator. And there's not enough pins there to put a regulator in. So this was made completely without a regulator. All the actual connections are the same as you would normally wire up a 706. All the rest of it is the same. And I'll show you the diagram. This was loose inside. There's your diagram. And I say it shows without an induction coil. So it is possible to make a telephone work without the induction coil, but obviously the speech quality would not be as good, and possibly the phones would not be that sensitive or less sensitive than the ones with a side tone coil. Coming to the dial, as I've already mentioned, they call these chaplets. It's the little arrows. A standard type of dial. I won't take the cover off, but it's the one we've seen many times before on this type of telephone. Plastic with the normal straight-sided finger stop, which is the type you would normally see on a 706 or 746. Anyway, let's have a look at the handset. The handset has a normal transmitter for this age. It's a moderner one. It's not the top hat type, it's a modern one. It's not an electronic one. This has got a name on there, I think. If I can get it, yeah. There's the name. This was made by STC, Standard Telephones and Cables. Whether that was fitted afterwards, I don't know. But it's, I think you'll find it's the year that this would normally be. To a year on there. Get the wire out of the way. Working with one hand is rather difficult. It looks like 68 second month. Now the receiver is a non-standard type, very lightweight. It's got an N number on there which would indicate that it would be either a Plessey or a, what's the other name, Ericsson name or number. But very light, plastic, and that's the type you see, well, the type that's on this phone. The case, I'll show you the case. According to the blurb, the case for this particular phone should be grey. So whether the case has been changed at some time, I don't know. I haven't changed it. I know it is a telephone rentals case because the previous owners tried to scratch out the name, which is a pity because I wish they'd left it on there. But you can just make it out that there was a label on there saying telephone rentals, and they've scratched it out, which is a pity, but there we are. Also, you've got a hole there. Now, what was in there, and I took it out, don't know if I've still got it. Yep. That little jack was in that hole. It wasn't wired up. Well, it wasn't wired up all while I've got it. Probably for a headset to be plugged in. So unfortunately it's made a hole in the case, but not to worry. The case, and realise there's numbers on these cases. I can't always see the numbers. This one hasn't got a number, doesn't appear to. Yes, there is. It is 2DCO609, which is not the Perspex type. I can't think of the name. My memory's not too good. So obviously this was the standard case used at that time. Anyhow, I'm running out of things to say. All I would say is that this seems to work perfectly okay. I know it hasn't got an induction coil in it. Whether, as I say, the case has been changed, the blurb says that they're grey, but that doesn't really prove a thing. On here, the cord does look slightly greyish, but there again, it could be green. The other cord on the line cord is definitely green, so you take your chances, and whatever it is. Let's have a look at the base underneath. I think it's good to have a look underneath. There's the number. I don't know what ASTIC means, unless it means speaker. There's a speaker plug on there. I don't know, but there's the other number, which is the Ericsson Plessey number. The plastic base. It's obviously a hard-wired job. So that more or less is it. Anyhow, once again, thanks for putting up with my comments and ramblings. So probably are. I will put this up on good old YouTube. Any comments please make. Just to remind people that may be viewing this, there's always on Sundays at 6:30 Andy's Shed comes on YouTube, and it's always interesting. It's normally timed, I think, for 6:30. If you get it on there, you'll be able to. I think it's open to everyone. Any comments always like to be put on there. And I shall obviously look forward to it tomorrow. And that, as I say, is virtually it. Just remind you that these lamps, they're a bit of a rarity now. These, I've got several of them, but there again, I've been collecting for many years. They're neon. I should show you a light, but they glow red, obviously, and plug into a normal 240 volts. And this is the one that you would put up that way around. They did make them so they'd be the right way around if you had it in that way. There was a couple of, well, more than a couple of makers of those. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up now and put this one up. And once again, thanks for watching. Don't know what I'm going to put up next. I have to wait and see. Anyhow, thanks again. As I said, I didn't get any chance to go out to the garden. It's been a horrible day weather-wise. As I say, it did cause the loads of people at the coronation. It was sort of raining and that, so it was a shame. But as my memory goes back, the one in 53 was also raining. It just goes to show. Anyhow, thanks again, and yeah, any comments please leave. Thank you.